Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing lately, the surge of online gambling ads in Alberta. Now, I know what you're thinking, ads. Really? That's the topic. But stick with me here, because this isn't just about ads. It's about a trend that's raising some serious red flags, especially for addictions researchers. Personally, I think this is one of those issues that seems small on the surface but could have massive implications down the line. Let me explain why. First off, let's talk about the sheer volume of these ads. It's not just a few here and there, it's everywhere. From social media feeds to sports broadcasts, online gambling platforms are flooding the market. What makes this really interesting is how targeted these ads are. They're not just random, they're designed to appeal to specific demographics, often younger audiences. In my opinion, this is where things get tricky. Gambling addiction is a real issue, and when you're constantly bombarded with messages that make it seem like a harmless, even glamorous activity, it's easy to see how people can get pulled in. One thing that immediately stands out is how normalized it's becoming, almost like it's just another part of everyday life. Now, let's zoom out for a second. What many people don't realize is that the rise of online gambling ads isn't just a local issue, it's part of a global trend. Countries around the world are grappling with the same problem, and it's raising a deeper question: are we doing enough to regulate this? From my perspective, the answer is a hard no. The regulations in place often feel outdated, like they were written before the internet even existed. This raises a deeper question: who's responsible for protecting vulnerable populations? Is it the government? The platforms? Or the companies themselves? Personally, I think it's a shared responsibility, but right now, it feels like everyone's passing the buck. Another detail I find fascinating is how these ads often blur the line between entertainment and risk. They're not just selling a product, they're selling a lifestyle. You see ads with people laughing, winning big, living the dream. But what this really suggests is that gambling is a quick fix to all your problems. If you take a step back and think about it, that's a dangerous message. It's not just about the money you might lose, it's about the potential long-term damage to mental health and relationships. What this really suggests is that we need to start having more honest conversations about the risks involved. Here's where it gets even more concerning: the impact on younger audiences. I've seen ads that are clearly designed to appeal to people in their teens and early 20s. In my opinion, this is a ticking time bomb. The brain is still developing at that age, and exposure to gambling at such a critical stage could have lifelong consequences. What many people don't realize is that early exposure to gambling is a significant predictor of future addiction. So, while these ads might seem harmless, they could be setting the stage for serious problems down the road. So, what's the solution? Personally, I think it starts with awareness. We need to educate people, especially younger audiences, about the risks of gambling. But it can't stop there. We also need stricter regulations on how these ads are marketed and who they're targeting. In my opinion, it's not about banning gambling altogether, it's about making sure it's done responsibly. What this really suggests is that we need a cultural shift in how we view gambling, moving away from glamorization and toward a more realistic portrayal of the risks. As I wrap this up, I'm left with a thought-provoking question: are we sleepwalking into a gambling crisis? It's easy to brush off ads as just ads, but when you look at the bigger picture, it's clear that this is about more than just marketing. It's about public health, mental well-being, and the kind of society we want to build. So, the next time you see one of these ads, I want you to think about the implications. Because, in my opinion, this is an issue we can't afford to ignore.